Mir Brema. It is Monday in Albania. Thought I'd give you a little update on the day. I'm back in the square where I was last night. I'm going to preface this video by saying I may or may not have had a half liter of white wine with dinner. Just going to say that. I had a few things that I wanted to do today. One of them was to take the cable car up to the Dejati, I'm probably saying that wrong, mountain. And to get there, I had every intention of taking a taxi. But talking to the couple from England yesterday at the hotel gave me confidence to take the public bus. And they're like, oh, it's really easy. They told me exactly where to go. Sit at the front, the driver will help you. And that's exactly what I did. So I went and waited for the bus about 9:30. You get on and there's another person who comes around and collects your money. So you don't pay as you get on. And I had on my phone Teleferic, the cable car. And I showed that to him and I said, yes. And he said, yes. And it was 40 lek to get on the bus one way, which is 41 cents. And I just kind of stayed close to the front. And I had read it's about a 20 to 30 minute ride based on traffic. So it was probably at like 20 minutes. The bus stops and he points at me and he goes like this. I'm like, oh crap, where are we going now? But he gestured for me to get on a bus right next to them and said, two stops for cable car. I said, okay, which I thought was really cool and really nice. Well, of course, I didn't know if that meant two stops or two stops and then the third, because I'm a thinker. I think about those things. But fortunately, there were people kind of at the front, and there was another gentleman. I don't know if he worked for the company. Maybe he did. Maybe he was just being nice. He was kind of saying, cable car. And he said, go here, go to the right. And there were about 6 of us heading to the cable car. So that made it very easy. And it was about a 7-minute walk uphill to the lower station where you get on the car. And the views were just incredible. It was about a 15-minute ride up. And once I was up there, I'm guessing there are more activities throughout the summer. It was pretty quiet. I will say I was going to take a little hike on a trail that I had read about. And I had read the trail takes about an hour and a half. And I got about 5 minutes in and I'm like, this is probably not a good idea. Mom, if you're watching this, I heard your voice in my head. I was like, my mom would not approve of this at all. Because I'm not really a hiker. Like, hiking to me is like hiking in Green Bay at like Hanisra Park or like Door County, not on a mountain in Albania. So I decided not to do the hike, and I wanted to do other things instead. So I took the cable car back down and went to Bunkert, which is a former bunker now made into a museum. And I mentioned on the tour yesterday that Aurora said there are like 175,000 bunkers in Tirana that were never used. They were just prepared during the communist era to prepare for a nuclear war or an attack, and this is the largest one. And this bunker happens to be one that was for the dictator at the time. It was 5 stories, and it was interesting. I mean, kind of creepy, but interesting. And it was suggested you spend like 1 to 2 hours in it because it has a lot of history and photos of the communist era. I spent about 30 minutes because it was eerie and smelled a little bit like mildew, which I would expect. I would not expect a communist bunker from the 70s to smell like magnolia blossoms, for example. So it was super interesting, and I'm glad I went. And I'm going to show you a clip here. So that was a clip of the office of the dictator at the time, Hoxha. And of course, he had the nicest room in the bunker because he was a dictator and he was royalty. And the bunker was meant for the government to function, the communist government to function in case of a nuclear war or something terrible were to happen. So that was very interesting. I took the bus back into town, went to the bazaar. It was around 1 o'clock, so I was kind of hungry and wanted to buy some oranges at the market, at the bazaar. And the woman, I motioned for like 2, and she put 4 in my bag. And I'm like, okay, we're gonna have 4. That's fine. Let's have 4 oranges. Who am I to argue with a woman at the market? I took a little siesta in the late afternoon. I was tired, and then just ventured out for dinner. As I mentioned before, it's about 8 o'clock now. I went out about 6 o'clock, went to another traditional Albanian restaurant, had a lovely salad, had a casserole dish that is very typical Albanian, had the half-liter of wine that I mentioned, and a bottle of water, and this totaled to about 12.30 lek, which is around 12 USD. And then I stopped at a little bakery for a baklava because I was craving something sweet. And now I'm in the square. I have to say, for a Monday night, it is a Monday night in Tirana, and it is hopping. Like, you'll notice a lot more people out tonight. It's not raining. The weather was great today, but this is a Monday night. I'm pretty impressed. As usual, I feel really good about walking around. Don't feel unsafe at all. I hope you are enjoying these travel updates, and if you're not, I guess just hide me or delete me or unfriend me, maybe. I guess. And I wish you all good night. Natanamir. Mir Pafshin.